Hi, this is Dan Whitney with the Whitney Law Firm in Towson, Maryland. Today we're going to talk about a recent termite damage settlement that occurred at a case in Maryland that was significant given that it involved not just the seller lying about known termite damage, but it also involved the seller's real estate agent being involved in knowing and covering up the termite damage. Now, termite damage is what's known as a latent defect, a hidden defect that could be very dangerous. And Maryland, as I believe most states does, requires the seller to disclose the latent defects, especially including termite damage. Now, what's remarkable regarding termite damage is only a little bit of damage when it's found on a WDI or a wood destroying insect inspection. A little bit of damage that you see can actually be a sign of essentially widespread damage that could spread across the whole back side of a house or front side of a house or first floor, upstairs, downstairs. Really, it can go everywhere. So whenever termite damage is found on a termite inspection or WDI, it really is imperative to do a thorough investigation to see, okay, here's what I see, but the real question is, what do you not see? That's what you really need to be concerned about. So in this particular case, our client ended up looking at a home, getting a WDI done, and he purchased this house, which fit the bill very well for him here in Maryland. And after he moved in, a few days later, he started seeing little termites coming out of a window in the kitchen, swarmers. He thought, this isn't right. So he started doing some investigation, and he saw some areas on the wall where the paint was bubbling a little and it looked like drywall had been replaced. And he started doing some work to uncover things. And what he ended up uncovering is a tremendous amount of termite damage that had been hidden. Now, what's interesting is our client was or is in the business of home security systems. And he was going around to other individuals in the community, showing them the capabilities of the security systems that he's offering. So one night he goes over to a potential buyer's house and he's showing them the security footage from his own home to demonstrate the capabilities. And the woman who he's trying to sell his product to says, "Oh, we looked at that house. How do you like it?" And he says, "Oh, it's okay. We like it pretty well. We moved in." She says, "Yeah, when we saw that, we saw termite swarmers in the kitchen sink, and we told the agent about it, who was there, the seller's agent, who was also there during the house being showed to them, and we told her about it. Did you find out about this?" And he says, "No, nobody told us about that. Our WDI came back clean, and we didn't know about this, but we have a huge termite damage problem now." And that was the tip of the iceberg for him as far as starting to discover that not only did this house have termite damage, of course, but the real estate agent, and as he would come to learn, the seller also knew about it. So once he discovered that the seller's agent had known about the damage, that's when he kind of realized, okay, something wrong is going on. Damage is being covered up. I think I've been deceived. And he reached out and he found us looking for termite damage lawyers. And we took his case, we investigated, and we ended up filing suit. And what we discovered was that not only did the seller's real estate agent know about the termite damage, there had been a prior potential buyer who had a WDI done. And the first WDI had come back with a tremendous amount of signs of termite damage, and the deal fell through. And what happened after that was the seller had hired his longtime general contractor to come through and remove all of the signs of the infestation, or of the termite damage and the termites. So scraping off the tubes off the wall, patching the drywall, removing areas that showed obvious damage, covering it up with new wood and paint and drywall, and really just doing a complete cover-up of the entire thing. So we've discovered all this, and we found we found out these individuals, and some depositions were taken, and we figured out that this certainly all was a very big cover-up. And we proceeded with the case and ended up having a private mediation with a retired judge. And at that point, we had come to a resolution of settling the case for $215,000, which was almost triple of what one of the damage estimates was for what it would take to fix that home. So that case ended pretty well. It's always good to settle a case. Now, could more have been obtained in front of a jury? Yes, and we would have had to wait another year. Our client would have had to continue to live in his home without being able to do any meaningful improvements, because he knew whatever he did was going to have to get ripped out, because it was a significant amount of damage, and any improvements would have been rendered, essentially void, and had to have been done again after the damage got fixed. So our client was able to proceed with not only fixing the damage, but also using some of that money to improve the home thereafter, and we were able to get the matter resolved. Now, many homeowners don't know, once they discover termite damage, that they actually have significant legal rights. In termite damage cases, it's not uncommon to sue the seller, real estate agents who were negligent or perhaps fraudulent if they actually knew there was damage and took active steps to, one, cover it up, and two, not to disclose it. Choosing not to disclose a material fact such as termite damage is certainly potential grounds for a lawsuit against a real estate agent. Then, of course, the WDI, or termite inspection company, is always a potential target in termite litigation. And sometimes home inspectors, depending on what they do or don't do and what sort of contract language they have in their home inspection contracts, they can be targets in termite litigation as well. But the important thing is, if you're a homeowner and you've dealt with or are dealing with hidden termite damage that you found after buying, you should know you certainly have a tremendous amount of rights. And you should certainly not be shy in exercising them to do your best to get money to compensate you for the repairs that you're going to have to do through no fault of your own. So I hope this has been helpful. If you have a termite damage case in Maryland, please feel free to give us a call. Consultations are always free. In other states, if you're dealing with the issue, there's quite a few lawyers that handle these cases in some other states, and I suggest you seek out an experienced termite attorney. If you have any questions about any termite damage issues, or if you'd like to see a video on any other subjects involving termite damage and litigation, termite damage in new homes, please feel free to leave a comment, and I'll make a video about it if I can. Thank you very much for watching. Take care.